till I reach the top somehow. I'll keep moving on, I won't stop now. I'll keep moving on, till I reach the top somehow. I'll keep moving.
Yes, my Straight Talk family, it's that time when I should extend greetings to the world and to welcome you to another edition of Straight Talk for tonight, Monday, the 24th day of June, in the year of our Lord 2024. And I must, first of all, extend greetings and say a very pleasant night to St. Kitts and Nevis, and a very pleasant night to the entire Caribbean region. We go as far south, even on the South American mainland in Guyana, down to Trinidad and Tobago, come all the way up to Barbados, Grenada, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, and the Grenadines. I was Dominica tonight, and of course we come say bon. We are Martinique, Guadeloupe, and of course next door in Antigua and Barbados. What am I saying, my Straight Talk family? Antigua and Barbuda. I haven't heard from my friends in Montserrat for a long time, but I know you still stay connected, and of course we are connected all over the world, because we are in the Kittitian, or we reach out and touch the Kittitian and Nevian diaspora, or I should extend that to the Caribbean diaspora, my Straight Talk family. And I know that some of you are in Africa, some of you are in Asia, some of you are in Europe, and there are a whole lot of you all over North America. So I'm at liberty to say good night. I will say good morning, and certainly I can as well say good afternoon, because one of such greetings will be applicable to the region in which you now find yourselves. And I must, as always, greet our first timers, because many of you continue to share the link, and I'm eternally grateful for that. And because of your sharing the link, we get first timers each time. And for the first timers, I can say to you, I must say to you, I should say, that Straight Talk is a public service program that facilitates and promotes free expression on all issues of national interest, be they legal, be they environmental, be they technological, social, economic, and or political issues. On Straight Talk, we do have a forum to express yourselves freely. And on this program, we try to raise the level of national consciousness. We try to raise the level of national discourse by alerting our people to their rights, to their responsibilities, and certainly to their obligations. My name is Ian Patches Liburd, and I give Almighty God thanks for blessing me with yet another opportunity to join you in conversation on yet another occasion. And as your host, I pledge to remain an untiring advocate of truthfulness. And I'm reminded at all times by an excerpt of a favorite hymn of mine, which goes something like this: we are all called to be God's prophets, speaking for the truth and for the right, standing firm for godly justice, bringing evil things to light. Yes. And my Straight Talk family, we think of the courage needed, our high calling to fulfill, that we all may know the blessing of the doing of God's will. And my Straight Talk family, especially the first timers, I want to assure you that absolutely nothing is watered down on this program to make it more interesting, neither by omission nor by exaggeration. Straight Talk is not about sensationalism or creating excitement, especially at the expense of accuracy, because we always lean on the facts, as I consider it my bounden duty to always present the unvarnished truth, the plain truth, especially when it comes to governance in St. Kitts and Nevis. And this program joins us together with people across the Federation. Through this program, we are joined with people in the diaspora all around the world. Some we know very well and we have met. Others we do not know, and many we will never meet. Some of us will agree with the positions of truth advanced on Straight Talk, and some will disagree. And that's okay, that's fine, because we promote diversity of views, because we are a different people. But please, what will sadden me, my Straight Talk family, is if we ever start to become disagreeable. So let us in the meanwhile thank Almighty God for helping us to understand, oh, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. So let us hope and pray for the day when we will all sing His praise together. So welcome again, my people, and thanks for those who continue to share the link as you bring first-timers, and I'm eternally grateful to you, and I ask you, please continue to do so. For the first-timers, I must also inform you that Straight Talk is a participative program. And by that I mean we include your calls and your emails. If you're so minded, call in. The numbers are listed on your monitors as you can see them. Or for those who like the cloak of anonymity, I call it, we give you access via our email platform. That's also noted on your monitors, your screens. And for those of you who have Amazon Alexa at home, you can also access Straight Talk Live on that forum. Just say, Alexa, play Massive Vibes Radio, and thanks to Massive, and we continue to promote that program, yes, at a cost, but we are thankful. And we say a special welcome, Straight Talk, or to our Straight Talk Junior Brigade, of course. Tristan, Shamar, Kevin, Rue, Travis, Travon, and of course, we also hail that special lady in St. Louis. And we normally start with our observations in review, my Straight Talk family, which is an integral and important part of this program. We reflect on the things we have said or advanced questions we have asked. And of course, it's all about a learning process. So it's a continuous effort to develop my Straight Talk family. And my first observation relates to Prime Minister July, who is off to the Republic of China on Taiwan, with a delegation that includes the official leader of His Majesty's loyal opposition. Yes, would you believe? The snake Mark Brantley is part of that delegation, wearing his red shirt. You will observe, my Straight Talk family. But the snake Mark Brantley will obviously have many uncomfortable moments, or is having uncomfortable moments on that trip as we speak. And he had to be uncomfortable, as you can see there from that picture. He had to be uncomfortable because Mark Brantley is a key witness in the MSR RICO lawsuit, as according to the convicted fraudster Philippe Martinez, the snake Mark Brantley introduced him and MSR's American investors to the country's CBI program. The international fraudster Philippe Martinez has also accused the second Prime Minister Denzel Douglas of receiving a fee for each successful CBI application, also financially benefited through his relationship with CS Global from the explosion in the numbers of passports that were awarded to and sold by the defendant listed in his lawsuit, Caribbean Galaxy. And this information we are not confirming, but just really stating what is in the affidavit of this convicted fraudster Philippe Martinez. And he stated lots of other accusations, or leveled lots of other accusations in his lawsuit. And some of them, really, it's hard to believe what this convicted felon is saying. But I thought I would have one observation tonight, and I wanted to make it a deliberate decision, as I was between two minds, as we say colloquially. One being whether I should do a thesis on political prostitution. And this thought is forever on my mind, because Snake Mark Brantley has made the office of His Majesty's loyal opposition into one of political prostitution. Because, my Straight Dog family, from a braggadocio type position, recall that the snake claimed that Denzel Douglas was afraid of him. Or to use his words, Douglas was afraid of Brantley like Monkey was afraid of gun. How many of us remember this, my Straight Dog family?
I came over with a contingent of about 150 people from Nevis tonight. You all heard the Honorable Alexis Jeffers? Hot like pepper seed. That's how we do it in Nevis. Let me tell you something. This campaign has now started tonight. It is a campaign of unity. It is a campaign to take back our country. And wherever Denzel Douglas is tonight in Dubai, he frightened. You know why he frightened? Because Mark Bradley reads Greenlands.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
He freed me. He freed me like a monkey freed gun.
And my straight dog family, the snake Mark Brantley seemed to have now been reduced to a political prostitute in order to get access to much needed resources of the federal government. Recall he mashed up an administration in which he was a minister or the minister of foreign affairs, and mashed up the administration of which he was a part in the name of fair share for Nevis. And he's now prepared to even wear his red shirt, humble himself to the same Denzel Douglas, while he waits on a 25% handout, my straight dog family. And he's humbled himself and is prepared to sit in the back seat, in the back of the bus, so to speak, as he awaits a 25% handout of the non-tax revenue from the St. Kitts Treasury. Brantley would not be able to pay his civil servants, believe it or not, without the budgetary support he receives from the federal government, and which started under Timothy Harris, or the third prime minister, I should say. But he's struggling with his debt-ridden economy and missing the millions of dollars of financial support he received under the third prime minister. But the snake Mark Brantley is afraid to do like Eugene Walwyn, who got elected in Nevis, I think it was 1966 or somewhere thereabout, in the height of secession. But he then joined the Bradshaw Labour administration, and the late Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw made him the Attorney General. He became the Attorney General, Eugene Walwyn. And when the people of Nevis got the opportunity, they punished Eugene Walwyn at the ballot. The snake Mark Brantley is afraid to do like Patrice Nisbet, who joined the Douglas Labour administration, and he too became Attorney General. And when the people of Nevis got the opportunity, they punished Patrice Nisbet at the ballot as well, my straight dog family. But remember the snake Mark Brantley told us that he was going to be kingmaker. He said the CCM would be kingmaker, my straight dog family.
Let me be clear. This party, the Concerned Citizens Movement, has been and shall remain firmly in the role of kingmaker. For all who have ears to hear, let them hear.
My straight dog family, he has since then helped to destroy the Team Unity government. And many conclude, and we do here on Straight Up, that this snake Brantley is bad for democracy. And as the leader of the opposition, he continues to undermine the power of the people. When the people of Nevis get the opportunity, I beg you to punish him for his management of your economy and for turning His Majesty's loyal opposition into an office of political prostitution. The Snake Mark Brantley, my straight dog family, just recently increased his salary by 15%. Yes, 15%, my straight dog family, he increased his salary.
8th of May 2024, the Cabinet took the decision to increase the salaries of NIA parliamentarians by 15%. That is the same increase that had been given to our public servants in Nevis, and that will be effective June 1st, 2024.
At the same time, he has increased your utility bills, my straight dog family. But he's all for self and has a none-for-thee mentality, just like the other politicians in St. Kitts and Nevis, those in the July Labour administration have shown no respite for the people. My straight dog family, another observation relates to the issue of shelter in our beloved country, which is still a vexing one. And one should not expect any improvement anytime soon, because we have a self-confessed slow student, my straight dog family, who is a minister with responsibility for housing.
Look at me, comrade. I told you how I started off as a slow student. I went to 1A4, 2A4, 3G7, 4G6, 5th form, 5G6, and guess what? I repeated. So I was in school for quite a while. But look at me today. Bachelor's in psychology with a minor in social work. Masters of education. Another master's degree in political and organizational psychology. And I would have been in a program for quite a while, since 2005, I'm not ashamed. And in 2016, I was offered the opportunity of getting a PhD.
And remember, my straight dog family, the slow student made this glorious announcement. Recall?
Today, as the minister responsible for housing and human settlement, I am pleased to formally announce that the government of St. Kitts and Nevis and National Housing Corporation NHC has signed a contract with East Coast Housing Development, a Trinidadian-based developer, to finance and deliver 2,400 affordable smart homes over a period of 4 years, 600 of which will be made available each year. EC's $600 million has been sourced by this developer to fund the project, and the government of St. Kitts and Nevis, through NHC, will facilitate the development and be the point of access for the citizens who are interested in procuring a smart home.
And my straight dog family, a year has passed when he promised 2,400 homes in 4 years. That's 600 homes per year. The slow student has only delivered 2. But look at it, my straight dog family. The so-called investor Brian Singh has no track record, absolutely no track record in developing anything, much less housing. And when he broke ground for the $600 million project, the people of St. Kitts knew that he was a fake developer. Jeffrey Hanley made the announcement that the houses were made bigger at no additional cost by Straight Talk family.
And I was happy that we had that open fair, the house fair, because it gave us an opportunity to be able to go back to the drawing board to present something that will blow the minds of our people when we are delivering the homes. Whereas a one-bedroom was 450 square feet, now a one-bedroom will be 592 square feet. A two-bedroom was 862 square feet. It's now 879 square feet. And a three-bedroom that was 1,200. Under this new initiative, a three-bedroom is 1,288 square feet. These larger homes will not attract any additional cost.
But now, when asked about the delivery of these houses, the Prime Minister July said they have gone back to the drawing board to increase the size of the houses. But we know, my Straight Dog family, that they are for those who are bankable, according to the Attorney General Garth Lucifer Wilkin. So we know poor people ain't gonna get no house, to use colloquial language. And my fourth observation, my Straight Dog family, and as I said earlier, I had every intention to present one observation in review tonight. But there are so many issues that arise each day. And I was browsing social media and I came across an article posted by Times Caribbean, very reliable social online journal, I should say, which caught my attention as it relates to the issue of good governance, a topic that our Prime Minister speaks so much about. And it's the issue of the frequent travel by our ministers. And my Straight Dog family, as one who served in government myself, I can tell you, and I hate to talk about myself, but I can tell you that no matter what front these current ministers will try to present, every single one of them hear the criticism of the people. And no good politician will ignore the voices of the people. So I want to implore you, the people, do not stop making your voices heard. If the Prime Minister was not listening to the criticism of the people, he would not have tried to justify his frequent travel by making this silly excuse about working abroad. Remember, he said this, my Straight Dog family.
I was working abroad. Tell them we don't just travel, we work abroad. When we go, we don't take no picture with no camel and on the beach with no glasses. We're taking picture with leaders and investors, telling them to invest in St. Kitts and Nevis. That is what we travel for. So we work abroad on your behalf.
And my Straight Dog family, as a former minister, as I said earlier, it really baffles me that the constant criticism of these ministers of, or these members of cabinet, have been ignored by all of them. And they are so obnoxious. And the caption of the article I referred to states, my Straight Dog family, that these 5 ministers, imagine, 5 out of 6 ministers are abroad, are overseas. Prime Minister, Drew and Foreign Minister Douglas are now in Taiwan. Deputy Prime Minister Hanley came back just yesterday or Saturday, I'm told, from Toronto. Tourism Minister Henderson is in New York. And Minister Maynard, they were in Germany, and all of these five were out at the same time, my straight dog family. You understand that they did not even appoint the one left here, Samal, as acting prime minister. They did not appoint anyone to act in the vacant positions. They all, no doubt, running the country via Facebook. And this cannot be good governance, my straight dog family. It cannot be good governance. And this is not the first time such has happened, if my memory serves me well. So I am further convinced that these ministers of government have no regard for us as a people, my straight dog family. My straight dog family, it is time, I submit, it is full time that we start to prepare for the unavoidable, which is to remove this band of misfits from office, using all means necessary. Yes, all means necessary. Protest, boycott their events, or if they survive these actions, yes, if they last so long, then we vote them out, my straight dog family. The issue of government officials traveling frequently, while the general population, especially the poor people in our midst, faces daily of hardships and rising living costs, is a serious concern. It highlights the need for prioritizing the needs of the citizens and ensuring that government resources are used effectively to address pressing issues, my straight dog family. And I want to say the Prime Minister and cabinet members are not leading by example. They're not demonstrating frugality and a commitment to using the public resources responsibly. And this can include reducing the frequency and cost of travel and visibly prioritizing domestic issues. They don't communicate. Regularly communicating the government's efforts and progress in addressing economic challenges can help to build public trust and show that the leadership is focused on the well-being of the citizens. My straight dog family, the frequent travel of the Prime Minister and his cabinet, while the population suffers from daily hardships and rising living costs, must be a significant concern to all of us. And addressing this issue requires transparency, accountability, and a shift in focus towards domestic or local priorities. By implementing effective policies, engaging with the community, and leading by example, the government can demonstrate its commitment to improving the lives of citizens and restoring public trust. And those are my observations in review for tonight, my straight dog family. And I move right into my thesis. And I did not mention this earlier in terms of the title. But the title of my thesis tonight is The Short-Sighted Destruction of a Valuable Resource. And there's a tale or short story, my straight dog family, that give rise to the expression or the idiom, as it's called, killing the goose that lays the golden eggs. And this refers to the short-sighted destruction of a valuable resource or to an unprofitable action motivated by greed. And in our case, specific for tonight, it is motivated by pure partisan politics. Our Citizenship by Investment Program, CBI, is indeed a valuable resource that provides a significant influx, a large amount of capital which can be used and is used or have been used in the past for national development projects, infrastructure, healthcare, education, and other public services. Here in St. Kitts Nevis, we have one of the oldest and most well-known CBI programs, offering citizenship in exchange for investment in real estate or a contribution to the Sustainable Growth Fund. It is crucial for both applicants and us as a country to conduct thorough due diligence to ensure compliance with legal standards and to prevent money laundering or other illicit activities, my Straight Dog family. The reputation of any CBI program and the country offering it can impact the desirability and credibility of the citizenship offered. Overall, when managed properly, the CBI program can be mutually beneficial, fostering economic growth and providing significant advantages for individuals. We've had a lot of talk about 2008 and numbers, but in fact, it was in 2006 the revision of the St. Kitts and Nevis CBI program under then Prime Minister Denzil Douglas, including the exclusive marketing agreement with Henley and Partners, marked a significant turning point. It professionalized and internationalized the program, leading to increased revenue and economic development for the country. However, it also introduced challenges related to dependency and regulatory compliance. The success of the program hinged on maintaining a balance between leveraging the expertise of external partners and ensuring robust, transparent, and flexible program management. The use of CBI funds to diversify the economy, reducing reliance on the CBI programs and ensuring sustainable growth, could include investments in tourism, agriculture, technology, and other sectors. And my Straight Dog family, by enhancing the administrative capacity, ensuring thorough due diligence, investing in public services, and fostering international collaboration, St. Kitts and Nevis can effectively manage the influx of new citizens through its CBI program. And implementing these strategies will help to maintain the program's integrity, support economic growth, and ensure social harmony. My Straight Dog family, we are at a moment in time when we should carefully evaluate the benefits and risks associated with our CBI program. If the program provides significant economic benefits and can be managed with robust due diligence and transparency, it might be worth continuing with improvements. However, if the risks and potential negative impacts outweigh the benefits, exploring alternative strategies for economic growth and development would be prudent. But the decision should be based on a thorough assessment of the current and the future economic, social, and political landscape. My Straight Dog family, when I heard one of July's advisors say that Philippe Martinez is the best thing that happened to the CBI, I cringe. Because This is what I call the short-sighted destruction of a valuable resource, the CBI. Dr. July said that Philippe Martinez will help him to save the program. And now, Dr. July is facing a judicial review, seeking an order of mandamus to recall or cancel the passports that were unsold, as it is claimed. Yet he is of the view that no funds, my straight dog family, no funds will be required, or no refunds, I should say, would be necessary, my straight dog family.
Going to be liable to those persons, those applicants. In other words, do you have to carry out a refund operation to any of the applications, to any of the applicants?
We don't
on
think
the
so.
program?
We don't think so. We don't think we have to refund any applicant. As a matter of fact, the opposite question might be asked based on the amount, but we don't foresee that. We were really concerned about all the questions that were being asked and the sheer number of citizenship by this program. How many persons live in St. Kitts? What's the population? Roughly 50,000. And for one prison project, 25,000. And that former prime minister is talking. That is beyond appalling. That is, how can you have thought of using a prison project to offer 25,000 persons?
But my straight dog family, you perhaps will ask which prime minister, because there are two prime ministers talking. This is one of them, my straight dog family.
Some people have taken this too far, and in taking it that far, they are destroying the economy of St. Kitts and Nevis. They are destroying St. Kitts and Nevis on a whole. Because even though we may not have been perfect in what we do, at least what is the alternative to the Citizenship by Investment program as we try to diversify the economy here in St. Kitts and Nevis? All those schools that have been built and repaired, all those houses that we can boast of,
yes, they all came from the CBI my straight dog family. But one thing I want us to note, my straight dog family, through it all, is the silence of the St. Kitts Nevis Chamber of Industry and Commerce. The silence of this organization is deafening. The country has not heard one word from the Chamber of Industry and Commerce, which is a key private sector body in the Federation. The Chamber advocates for sustainable economic growth and represents various business interests in St. Kitts and Nevis. But questions must be asked. Have the Wilkins and the Kelsics lost their influence in this august body? Has Cat got the chamber tongue? Or are their members now only focused on establishing full control over a clueless government in St. Kitts Nevis once and for all? Or are they complicit? Is another important question we ask. Why is the Chamber of Industry and Commerce so silent? Because one Wilkin, who is the Attorney General and Minister of Justice and Legal Affairs, referred to the CBI project in his message that is now part of the documentation or supporting documentation in the RICO lawsuit. He referred to the project as a scam. The father of the Attorney General and Minister of Justice and Legal Affairs, Garth Lucifer Wilkin, is the owner or part owner of the firm that represents Philippe Martinez in the lawsuit seeking an order of mandamus in which he worked for decades. The nephew of the advisor to Philippe Martinez is the lawyer listed in the said lawsuit. Furthermore, any lawsuit accusing the St. Kitts, Nevis, and Anguilla National Bank of money laundering and the possible consequences are serious enough to warrant a statement from the St. Kitts Nevis Chamber of Industry and Commerce. But not one word has come from this organization. But my Straight Talk family, someone should remind Dr. July about an Abraham Lincoln or I think it's a Mark Twain quotation. One of them or both of them are credited with this quotation, which goes something like this, and I quote, "Better to remain silent and be thought a fool than to speak out and remove all doubt." And the content of this quotation, I believe, emphasizes the wisdom of staying quiet rather than saying something that might reveal your ignorance. For that reason, the quotation helps to remind us to always think before we speak and to value substance over empty noise. And in this case, I would say value substance over partisan politics. So guided by the quotation, my Straight Talk family, I thought that it would be prudent to share with you, my Straight Talk family, excerpts from or parts of a conversation that I had 2 years ago with the former CEO of the Citizenship by Investment Unit, LESCAN. And this is what was revealed in our conversation, my Straight Talk family, about the correctional facility that everyone refers to as the prison project. This is some of what was revealed, my Straight Talk family.
5,500 passports are being sold for $2.4 billion to finance this project. Park Hyatt sold close to 300 shares. Close to 300 shares were allocated to Park Hyatt when Park Hyatt was being constructed, a 5-star resort. Only 300 shares. And now for a prison, 5,500 shares. And again, you have to ask, who are the persons benefiting from the construction of this project?
Is that a fair question?
From the Citizenship by Investment Unit perspective, I think it needs clarifying because I think a lot of the numbers are taken out of context.
And my Straight Talk family, LESCAN explain the options as follows, my Straight Talk family.
Let's go back to what the alternative investment option is and why it was created.
Please.
So the first thing is, under the alternative investment option, we created 2 categories of investment. One is, and I'll categorize it as privately funded, privately owned. This is where a developer builds the initiative that meets a government mandate, and he or she ultimately owns the initiative in the long term. There's no transfer over to the government. So if the first project that fell under this category would be the middle income homes, that's by the Liamega development project. So that falls under privately funded, privately owned. The developer is selling basically at real estate levels. The difference is that he's not building a hotel, and this is where it comes under the alternative investment option, because it allows us to allow the developer to capture some of his investments through the citizenship by investment unit while delivering on a government mandate. So that's Eli Mega.
And let's can my Stray Dog family continue to explain the other option, which covers the prison project and is a privately funded, state-owned option, my Stray Dog family. And he explained this for us.
Project. The second initiative would be privately funded, state-owned. The developer does not own the initiative. The developer starts putting the money up front and starts construction almost immediately. So that initiative would be the second one that we have. And the first project to be approved under that would be the new correctional facility. So based on the information that the clip that I just heard there, the thought is that there was an allocation of 5,500 shares, and that it's equal to 2.2 billion EC dollars. There's an assumption here that 2.2 billion EC dollars is being taken away from the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. There is no $2.2 billion. There's 5,000, 5,500, whatever the number is in terms of the number of shares that have been allocated to assist the developer in recovering their investment.
He went on to state, my Stray Dog family, that there is a false assumption that the people of St. Kitts are being robbed of EC $2 billion. But in fact, there is an allocation of shares to help the developer in recovering their investment. Government gets money from fees in the millions, he stated as well, my Stray Dog family.
To quote a number like $2.2 billion is basically misleading in the sense that it's assuming that the developer is selling at $175,000. Now, the difference between the privately funded and the state-owned, the privately funded is at $200,000. The state-owned is at $175,000 for a family of four. In both initiatives, two things happen, or one thing happens. One is that the developer, regardless of which side of the fence it is, pays government fees. So if we were to truly look at the new correctional facility and we look at how much money the country would actually get from that, it would be hundreds of millions of US dollars, multiply that by 2.6. So, and that would be over a period of 1, 2, 3 years, whatever it takes for the developer to be able to sell those, let's call it unit of investments, because they're not really shares. So $2.2 billion doesn't exist. It's never coming out of the government's coffers. Actually, there's money going into the government coffers.
And my Stray Dog family, the government gets money from fees in the millions. $2.2 billion don't exist, according to the CEO, Lescan, or former CEO, I should say, Lescan, as the fees paid on the prison if those 5,500 shares are sold or units are sold will be over $800 million. That's the estimate that we will provide for you, my Stray Dog family, if you look at your monitors. On approval in principle of an application made through the public benefit option, the following post-approval application fees apply. The main applicant, US $25,000. The spouse, $15,000. And any qualified dependent under 18, $10,000, or over 18 years, $15,000. So let's use $60. That's a spouse, a husband, a spouse, and 2 independents. And let's do the calculation, my straight dog family. 5,500 units at 60,000 US dollars equal $330 million, or EC $887 million, which will go into the government treasury, go into the consolidated fund, my straight dog family. And that's a lot of money, don't you find? But the reality is that CBI business is a competitive one, and there are market conditions according to Lescan, my straight dog family.
In the alternative investment option for the new correctional facility, and there would be others that would come along, the country gets an asset, an infrastructure asset, and one that they would not have been able to finance over a period of time. So, I've been hearing the clips, I've been hearing the statements about, the prison, the alternative, the new correctional facility is costing $2.2 billion. We need to break down the numbers to understand what is really happening. When an investor, when a developer gets a share, be it under the real estate side or be it under the alternative investment option, there are a number of factors that have to be taken into consideration. Number one is, what is the market condition? Where is he selling, or he or she is selling, and what price can he sell at? I can assure you that it's not 175,000 and it's not 200,000. So there are market conditions out there in the Middle East, in Russia when Russia is open, in China, and it's a very competitive market.
And my straight dog family, additionally, it is the St. Kitts Investment Promotion Agency that writes every single proposal that is sent to the cabinet for its approval or its disapproval, my straight dog family.
I think when these proposals go forward to cabinet, and I need to stress this, the unit does not approve projects. I want to be, a lot of people say, well, let's can't approve this, but the unit does not approve projects. The unit supports the recommendation based on its merits, but the initiative must go through SKIPPA, St. Kitts Investment Promotional Agency. And from their perspective, they are doing an analysis also of the project and are the ones responsible for writing the proposal and submitting it to cabinet on behalf of the developer. Cabinet then looks at the initiative, and both Skipper and myself may be called to cabinet to explain why we think that this initiative warrants X number of shares or units of investment. But then cabinet makes that decision and then it moves on.
So cabinet, in a nutshell, either approves or disapproves these proposals. Now, the CBI, we cannot dispute, diversified our country's revenue streams, reducing dependency on traditional sources of income like tourism or taxes on imports. However, the administration changed, and a zealous Prime Minister and a zealous Attorney General embarked on an insidious path to eliminate the opposition and in particular the third Prime Minister, Timothy Harris. And one may say that the basic or fundamental principle in politics is to eliminate any force that can arise against you or rises against you by using all means necessary. So July, remember, when he got into office, he started talking about $20 million in cash missing from the development bank. He stopped talking about that. And the prison project was criminal. You remember that. But when July sat in the Prime Minister's chair, in the Prime Minister's office, he saw money coming. $800 million from the same project he criticized while in opposition. Yes, over $800 million if he said all these passports were sold. But without first understanding how the CBI works, Garth Lucifer Wilkin classified the prison project as a scam. So they embarked on what they call criminalizing underselling in the citizenship by investment program in St. Kitts and Nevis, something that many consider a bad decision for several reasons. A healthy CBI market relies on competition, which can drive innovation, quality, and better pricing. Criminalizing underselling could stifle competition and lead to market stagnation. Straight Talk, for example, has learned for this year the unit has only received 13 applications, 13 applications. If fewer investors are attracted due to higher fixed prices, the country would no doubt see a decrease in revenue generated from the CBI program. Investors and agents need the flexibility to adjust prices based on market conditions. Criminalizing underselling could hinder the ability to respond to changes and demand in supply. St. Kitts and Nevis compete with other countries offering CBI programs. Competitive pricing can be a significant factor in attracting investors. Restricting prices or pricing options could make the program less attractive. Implementing and enforcing such a law would require significant resources. Monitoring pricing and proving cases of underselling could be complex and resource intensive. Criminalizing pricing strategies could lead to legal challenges and disputes, which might deter potential investors cautious, wary of a restrictive regulatory environment. Such a law might create a perception of an overly restrictive or desperate market. Investors generally prefer stable and predictable investment climates. My Straight Talk family, while the intention behind criminalizing underselling might be to protect the value and integrity of the CBI program, it could lead to unintended negative consequences. A more balanced approach that ensures competitiveness, maintains quality, and avoids heavy-handed regulation might be more beneficial for the long-term success of the CBI program in St. Kitts and Nevis. The European Union is laser-focused on due diligence rather than pricing in citizenship by investment programs, and this is indeed significant. Here's why this focus matters and why criminalizing underselling might not align with the EU's concerns. The EU prioritizes thorough due diligence to ensure the that individuals granted citizenship do not pose security risks, have clean financial histories, and are of good character. Effective due diligence helps to maintain the reputation of CBI programs, ensuring they are not seen as a backdoor for illicit activities. My Straight Talk family, ensuring robust due diligence processes can foster better cooperation with international bodies in other countries, which is vital for the program's acceptance and success. The integrity of the CBI program, yes, can impact travel arrangements with the EU. If the EU trusts the due diligence processes, they are more likely to maintain or grant visa-free travel privileges. My Straight Talk family. The EU's concerns about CBI programs are centered on integrity and security of the citizenship granted rather than the pricing structures. So therefore, enhancing the due diligence processes, ensuring transparency, and aligning with international standards should be the primary focus for St. Kitts and Nevis. But the horse is out the barn. And criminalizing underselling might not only misalign with these priorities, but also potentially harm the competitiveness of the program. So they are now on a campaign of fear-mongering, my Straight Talk family. Hear them. 50,000 passports out there, more than the population. So what? Will you stop selling passports, Prime Minister July? But listen to me carefully, and some of you may get upset. But that is not my intention to upset you. Managing a large influx of new citizens through the Citizenship by Investment program can be challenging for small countries like St. Kitts and Nevis. And there may be, underline, there may be strategies to address this effectively. Use the revenue generated from the CBI program to invest in public services such as healthcare, education, and infrastructure, ensuring that the needs of both new and existing citizens are met. Develop programs to facilitate the integration of new citizens into the local community, promoting cultural understanding and social cohesion. My Straight Talk family, I hear one political activist who likes to talk about Singapore. And Singapore is as big as St. Lucia, or just as big. It's slightly bigger than St. Lucia. But Singapore has a population of 6.06 million people. St. Lucia is 238 square miles with a population of 183,000 people. Let's not go so far. Let's go next door to St. Martin, my Straight Talk family. St. Martin is the smallest inhabited island divided between two countries. And it is unique, as the island has two countries in one. One side is owned by France, and the other side is owned by the Netherlands. I'm sure we all know that. But hear this. St. Martin has a land area of 87 square kilometers, 34 square miles, but a population of 39,000 on the French side and 40,700 on the Dutch side. Say 41,000, my Straight Talk family, on the Dutch side. So that's an overall population of 80,000. 80,000 people on St. Martin with an area of 34 square miles. Whereas Nevis is 36 square miles, bigger than St. Martin, and only has a population of 13,000. The point is, my Straight Talk family, July has not told us what he is going to do with the CBI program. All he told us that 50,000 or 62,000 citizens may be out there. So what? What are you going to do with the program? Dr. July signed a record 21,000 passports in just over 1 year and claims, my Straight Talk family, that he was set up. So he must come to the Federation and tell us if he intends to sign any more. Since he only said this, my Straight Talk family, he must tell us what he plans to do.
What? Irresponsible, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, between, I said that in 2020 to 2023, as a result of 5,500 CBI units issued for the prison project, I am informed that 166 passports have been issued to citizens by investment in the last 2 years, Madam Speaker. Set up the government. Set up the government with this, Madam Speaker. I repeat, because of the prison project. Madam Speaker, the number goes up more. I can just get to the final number, Madam Speaker. Because each time I look at this number, all sorts of things bubble up in me, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, imagine on the previous St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party's watch, with the then CBI investment option over a span of 7 years between 2008 and 2015, 10,000 passports. But under the member for number 7's watch, on the Teen Unity's watch, with their CBI investment options, 42,979 passports were issued. Madam Speaker, I think that is about the population of St. Kitts. Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I can say we are over 50,000 of passports issued. The number of passports issued is possibly as much as the population at this particular time, or could be a little higher. You have to tell the truth. The people deserve to know the truth. It is a hard truth, but it is the truth. The mismanagement of the program has seen us today have more citizens, very likely more citizens by investment, in our own population here in St. Kitts and Nevis. These are the numbers they said that we should give out. But I wanted to be prudent, Madam Speaker, and to make sure that the numbers we gave were the correct numbers. 50,000 is easy to count and to be certain of. Madam Speaker, I look at that number and I ask myself all the time, if 1/5 were to come to St. Kitts and Nevis, it would be a whole different country. But Madam Speaker...
Honourable Member, you have 30 minutes left on your allotted time.
Okay, thank you, Madam Speaker.
And my Straight Talk family, July claims he was set up. Imagine that, my Straight Talk family. He claims he was set up. And you know, my Straight Talk family, you may recall that months into July taking office, months, my Straight Talk family, into July taking office, a young reporter from the St. Kitts Nevis Observer, LaShawn Dixon, I think is the name. LaShawn Dixon, I believe is the correct name. Asks July a question to which he never responded by Straight Talk family. This was the question recall.
Good morning, Lashan Dixon, St. Kitts Nevis Observer. Mr. Prime Minister, when you first got elected, you promised that your admin would implement principles of good governance, integrity in public life, transparency and accountability. Since November, the Observer has been asking about the number of passports issued to date under the CBI program and the certificates of registration you signed since taking office. We have been informed that over 30,000 passports have been sold under the CBI in total. This will concern the population of 55,000 here in St. Kitts and Nevis. What is your response to these claims?
And he never responded, my Straight Talk family. And July is talking about the truth. Can July ever speak truth? But the truth has now come to light. So July pleads that he was set up, or he was tricked, if I interpret what he's saying. But not even his staunchest supporter will accept that nonsense excuse, my Straight Talk family. Not even his staunchest supporter will.
Let me address Dr. Drew's comment that his administration was set up by the Harris administration. I do not agree that he had to sign these 20,166 applications. And I hold this opinion whether or not these applications had been approved, and time will prove whether I'm right or wrong on this. Meanwhile, given that PM Drew also said in his address to Parliament that in May 2023, his administration stopped accepting due diligence reports from a certain Chinese company, then maybe there's a chance that a number of those citizens will now be revoked. So let me ask you this. Why do you think all of this information is coming out only now? Why has it taken so long for you, the people of this country, to get this information?
Yes, it has taken long. Even though the third Prime Minister said this as well.
Dr. Drew, I understand, attempted to give some statistics in his own way. And he lied. He can't help himself. He just have to lie. But I gather of all the things he said, he spoke of the period 2008 to 2015. He told his usual lies. And somebody asked me, where was it 2008 the program start? If he's giving a report, why didn't he start at the beginning? What is the secrecy? But interestingly, when I asked, did he tell you how many CORs he signed for the prison? The person said, no. He ain't say anything about the period 2022 after the 6th of August to 2024. But what kind of man is that? That is your period. And yet no reporting, nothing to say about it. But it comes to say, well, boy, too many passports were given out. But up to yet we don't know about from who.
But my Straight Talk family, herein lies the big problem. While the CBI program can be economically beneficial, the significant disparity between the population and the number of passports sold suggests potential issues that need careful management now to avoid long-term negative consequences. With more passports issued than the actual population, there could be concerns about the demographic balance and the integration of new citizens. Who are they, Dr. July? Are they young? Are they old? Are they Chinese? Are they Russians? Are they from Syria? These are the questions you have to answer. Will this situation lead to challenges in ensuring that the benefits of citizenship, such as voting rights, do not disproportionately influence local governance? Our CBI program has brought considerable financial benefit, but until this level of economic reliance on the CBI program is reduced by diversifying revenue streams, we cannot create a more resilient economy. We cannot create a sustainable island state, as you like to say. We need investments in sectors like tourism, agriculture, and technology, to name a few, if we are to provide sustainable growth. Criminalizing the CBI program would more than likely result, Dr. July, in severe economic and social consequences. Furthermore, the way in which it was implemented was too drastic, and we, Straight Talk, can only predict the short-sighted destruction of a valuable resource. That's my story tonight, my Straight Talk family, and I am not going to change it. I will open the lines and entertain your calls and your emails, because on Straight Talk, you have your say. The numbers are listed on your monitors. You know them, 663-6672 and 646-829-6672. We give you access by our email platform, which is Straight Talk Patches, that's one word, at gmail.com. I always like to implore you, though, before I open the lines, which I'll do momentarily, I always anticipate that you will respect others. And of course, to achieve that, you must first respect yourselves. Let us try to be fair to all concerned, and let us try to build goodwill and better friendships. Let's ensure that the things we say and or do will be beneficial to all concerned. And in doing and or saying those things, let us strive, my Straight Talk family, to build a kinder, gentler St. Kitts and Nevis. It's now 9:23, and I'll go to the lines, and I will take my first caller. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Good evening, Mr. Liburd.
Good evening, my dear.
First, I would like to say I'm calling from Nevis.
Okay.
The quote for this evening: integrity is telling myself the truth, and honesty is telling the truth to the people. I repeat, integrity is telling myself the truth, and honesty is telling the truth to the people. Have a great evening.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Nevis. Honesty is telling the truth to the people. Let's go back to the lines and thank this caller for holding. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller. Are you there, caller? Hello, caller.
Captain.
My dear brother.
Yeah. I hear pop. That thing plug out, boy. Go ahead, man. That's no problem. But it is so good to give God thanks and praise today, you know. And it is so wonderful. But Patrick, I was reading my Bible today. In case started, I am going to give you one passage in the Ecclesiastes chapter 5 and verse 15, one verse. as he came forth of his mother's womb, naked shall he return to go as he came, and shall take nothing of his labor, which he had carried away to in his hand. And as I read that, Mr. Patrick, I wonder how many people that sit down and think what the Bible says. And I wonder if people just read the Bible. But my Patrick, I want to say tonight, right, that Psalm 41, verse 1. Blessed is the man that considereth the poor in the time of trouble. The Lord shall deliver him. Psalm 91. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High
shall abide
under the shadow of thy mighty.
Yes.
I will say to the Lord, He is my refuge, my fortress. In God will I trust. Surely He shall deliver me from the snares of the fowler, and from the noise of the pestilence. He shall cover me with His feathers. Under His wings of trust. His truth shall be my shield and buckler. Thou shalt not be afraid of the terror by night,
nor
the hour that flieth by day, nor the destruction that come at noonday.
Thank you very much.
It is good to really speak the word of God over straight talk.
Yes, I look forward to that.
And I am not going to go no further than there. But Patrick, I am going to tell you, no care how much.
Okay.
Patrick, no care how much people crave. They cannot hear nothing with them at that. It is just chapter 5.
Okay.
5, verse 15 said, "You not carry nothing in your hand.
True.
You come out of your mother's womb and you're going, just as you come out, so you're going back.
Okay.
You not, people must stop, crave, and look after the poor people."
Okay. Thank you very much. Always thank the Bible man for his spiritual interventions and thank this caller for holding call of your life. Hello, caller.
Mr. Straight Talk. Mr. Straight Talk.
How are thou, Señor Vincente?
Sí, señor, ¿qué pasó?
Ay, tranquilo.
Mucho bien.
Sí, bien. Dando gracias a
mí. Sí, yes. Todo bien.
Yes.
Yes. How are you, my fellow brother?
I am peaceful.
Tell me something.
I'm peaceful.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. I'm saying one thing to you tonight. It comes to me, that whenever team the PLP decide to go back for election, see, I think you have a real good chance of running with them. Hey, Douglas look like he's 600 years. I don't know either you are him who is older, but I know you are 100% stronger than Douglas. So, you got to get yourself together, man, and put back yourself. What is it?
No, I was listening to you. All that glitters is not gold.
Yes. Look, straight up. I see you the last time in St. Kitts, and I haven't seen Douglas since that. But I know because his speech are getting slow. Understand that? No, Douglas not happy where he is. So he not going to look the way he was looking because he ain't happy. He's just doing what he got to do. So I'm just saying to you that you can pull back yourself and now we start doing something about you running with the PLP. You know, nothing wrong.
Listen, my brother.
Nothing wrong, my brother. You just got to be strong and do what you got to do. So let me just say, so straight out, then don't say they're going to build a rest house.
Up to now, no. They said they're going to increase the size.
Yes, they have to increase the size, but look at it. This says they increase the size, but this is within the next 4 years. So now it's this year going to make 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So how much house they have to build within for another 3 years?
Well, I tell you,
anyway,
we have a slow student, so we don't expect anything moving fast. Under
Mr. Strater, you just do what you got to do. So all I have to do is to just say good night to my friends, my St. Louis niece and Mrs. and Queen of Texas. I want you guys to do what you guys got to do. My brother there in Bellevue, Alvin, and I have a friend down there in St. Croix, Ethelene French. Ethelene, be good. And brother Culture, stand up strong. You are doing a wonderful job. I tell you, so many people are saying that they are listening to Straight Talk. So my cousin down there in Sadler's, Denver, good night, man. God bless you. Mr. Straight Talk, just do what you got to do. Understand? Just do what you got to do. You are doing a wonderful job. The people love you. The people love you. So just put back yourself in position when this roll call comes in and the bell ring, you stand up strong. We with you.
Thank you.
We with you. And you're going to get with full support now. Full support.
Thank you, my brother.
Mr. Strater, I'll see you soon.
Yes, see you when I see you, my brother. Be good to yourself and have yourself a wonderful night. The snake is such a liar and can only fool and mislead some so-called educated persons like those happy jokers on the Friday afternoon radio program. Sometimes when they are arguing amongst themselves on any matter pertaining to the team unity government, it becomes so laughable to hear those idiots saying, but remember Brantley say he was not present, he was outside in the yard, so he has no knowledge whatsoever about the peace program and no knowledge about this and that. And they believe him, Patches. I never come across such stupid people as these educated fools. I want to thank you for holding call of your life.
Yeah. Good evening, Patches.
Good evening, my brother. What is that called? Wolf and the Wolf of Peer? What the term they say?
Yeah. You talk about the devil, the imps appear.
Okay, the imps appear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good night, my brother Straight. Good night, my brother Straight Talk, and all the viewers and listeners to the program where you get facts and not no one-sided political program like one we have here going around in the Federation. I look forward to you Monday and Thursday. And when I cannot get in, I don't feel good, but I feel good tonight, and I could sleep good all the other times until next week. Because this week I know you're not coming Thursday. No, Patches, I love the clips, the song by them that you play. When it comes to the snake in Nevis, he is nothing but what you call a political prostitute war team. Because them soundboy that you play with him, everybody here when he say how many people come down with him in Greenland tonight, and Douglas whatever he afraid, something like how monkey afraid gun.
Like monkey afraid gun.
Right. But you see what happened to he? And a lot of them who now jump out the fence, and some of them dig on the defense and go back where they don't cuss off. You know what happened to them? When you eat, when a human consumes something internally, and it's not pleasant for down there, we in local town we say he vomit. But these, they vomit first, and then they turn around and they eat in the vomit. All of them who cuss Douglas when unity was swinging, or unity was nice, and Nevis never get so much better treatment since before Unity come in. And now look at him, eating up his vomit because he's so much mixed up with them there that passes that he ain't only in the middle and the bed laying down with them. He inside the mattress himself and the sheet in the mattress. But we so much a corrupt, deceitful snake in the grass. That man is only wearing the hat as an opposition leader. He neither leader nor opposition. You're gonna tell me 2 more months to make 2 years since that Mickey Mouse cabal government down Church Street and all the wrong things they have done to people, what they have done to the nation. You haven't seen anything to stand up and oppose and tell them, no, what you're doing is wrong. It is wrong. And you need to do this and do that. No, he ain't see it that way. But you see what happened to he? He deceived me. I know for sure he deceived me because every Wednesday night he used to look forward to hear me call him. Mm-hmm. And after I find out what he be, a hypocrite, a Judas, a snake in the grass, I tell him plain out, I deceive from you, and that's it. You are not good. But you see, he ain't see it fit to criticize nothing. But everything is hands in glove. He stopped court the words now. Fair share for Nevis. No fair share now, you know. No fair share. He getting unfair share. That's why he's selling the conscience and living in front of the conscience, not behind the conscience, because my conscience is my dictator. But I'll come back with another little short shot before you close out. Let me let somebody else come in.
Thank you very much for your intervention as usual, my Straight Dog family. And would you believe, yes, he said this, my Straight Dog family.
I came over with a contingent of about 150 people from Nevis tonight. You all heard the Honorable Alexis Jeffers? Hot like pepper seed. That's how we do it in Nevis. Let me tell you something. This campaign has now started tonight. It is a campaign of unity. It is a campaign to take back our country. And wherever Denzel Douglas is tonight in Dubai, he frightened. You know why he frightened? Because Mark Brantley reached Greenland.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
He freed me. He freed me like a monkey freed gun.
Tell the truth, my Straight Dog family. Look at your screen. Does it appear as though Douglas is afraid of Mark Brantley the snake, or the opposite? That's a question you must ask yourselves. But last week at the PLP convention reads this email. The guest speaker, Baldwin Spencer, expounded on the fact that there are some people who only want you, pretending they love and care for you, etc., etc., when you hold the reign of power in government. He further stated that when you are no longer in authority, they dwindle and abandon you, leaving you alone. Intriguingly, Spencer's pronouncements were accentuated by Gwyneth Byron and Dr. Douglas, respectfully in their posts, that people only want you when you can help them. The minute you are not in a position to help, they're gone. And that is bad. Really, really bad. The guest speaker and former Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda undoubtedly was speaking from his personal experience, and therefore I can say that this ungrateful attitude happens all over this email. Mr. Attorney General reads this other email. Are you the Attorney General for St. Kitts only or for St. Kitts Nevis? If so, for Nevis, I'm asking you this question. Where does the Premier of Nevis get the authority from to give himself an increase in salary without parliamentary approval. The Constitution does not give him the authority to do so. And isn't this demonstrative of bad governance? Don't you see the Premier has brought your office into disrepute and so an embarrassment personally, beg your pardon, to you, Mr. Attorney General. You are the chief government legal officer and has taken an oath to do right before God and man and to uphold the Constitution. So what will you be doing about this constitutional breach perpetrated by the Premier? Are you afraid to sanction him, fearing he would embarrass you by saying, boy, I beg you go sit down and tell me, Mark Brantley, the difference in breaching the Constitution and breaching the Social Security laws is that you are afraid of Mr. AG? You let me down, man. I thought you said you were not afraid of anybody. How come you're afraid, Mark? Reads this email. This other email reads, many people in Nevis are now admitting that their Premier has no shame and has brought disgrace and ignominy to the proud people of Nevis. They say it was upsetting and unbelievable to see that the Premier has to be singing to Dr. Drew for his supper by giving him the highest note of praise in order for him to get some resources. What irks them more is to see he has gone further now, my Straight Dog family, kissing Dr. Drew's behind, begging and begging as he chants false praises of Drew's leadership, something he did to Harris. Brantley is the biggest and most dangerous hypocrite in the Federation. He has no pride and shame whatsoever, only a big, empty, deceptive mouth. Read this email. Let's go back to the lines. Caller, I want to thank you for holding your life. Hello, caller.
Hi, Patrice. How are you?
I am peaceful, my dear. Yourself?
I'm good. The picture that you showed just a while ago with Mark and Douglas, Mark looked like a dog in a blacksmith shop. And they said the dog had no card in a blacksmith shop.
Mm-hmm.
Dog no had no cars in a blacksmith shop. Dog has no cars in blacksmith shop because it's welding going on in the, my grandmother says welding going on in the shop. So no, the spark could damage your eye. So that's why I said dog has no cars in blacksmith shop. He looked like one of them dog in blacksmith shop.
In the red shirt, right?
He need to give up the lead. He need to give up the leadership. All the time I'm listening to House Assembly, not by saying it's other House Assembly. You never hear the opposition wish no bill safe passage, even though the bill is good. The opposition will say but, and they do the but and the thing. The three Hebrew boys from Nevis are always wishing the bill them safe passage. We don't have no opposition leader. He need to come out. The three Hebrew boys from Nevis are always wishing the bill them safe passage. Even though the bill is okay, you never hear the opposition leader, opposition wish bill safe passage. They have nothing to say. They will say, well, it's a good bill and a but when you reach the final, for the bill to go, you never hear them wish the bill safe passage. So you take care, Patrice.
Thank you very much for your intervention. Yes. The leader of the opposition, or the opposition leader, everyone would concur, everyone would agree that he is bad for democracy. Good night, Mr. Liburd. Reads this other email. It is so sad that the Labour Party continues to do as they like with no accountability. When they all leave, who is running the country? I like the lady who I heard in a discussion with EK last week. EK only had a voice when she said the name Dr. Timothy Harris. With her being Labour, she was fair in her statement. How long are the people of the Federation going to accept this Labour government, affecting their livelihood and taking bread off their tables? Thank you, and be blessed, Mr. Liburd. Thank you. Well, and you'll be blessed. The Premier of Nevis reminds me of little children who, when they want something from their parents, will go and make complaints on their siblings in order to get what they want in most of the times the complaints are false and concocted. It is referred to as sweet mouth in the appearance to get what they want, and that symbolizes the embodiment of Mark Brantley. Now the Premier says Dr. Jew got some money from Taiwan the other day and shared some with him for Nevis. And he did not know Harris was getting this money every year for 7 years from Taiwan and kept all for St. Kitts. He said he thanks Dr. Jew so much for these monies. This cock and bull story orchestrated by Jew and Mark, in my opinion, is a complete lie and is just another plan to tarnish the good name of Harris, coming days after the PLP successful convention, which many have described was the best of the other political party conventions. I want to say to Mark, you lie, and stop carrying fake news to Jew on Harris and Team Unity that you were an integral part of. You are so stupid and devoid of common sense and can't realize that when Dr. Jew is criticizing and abusing Harris and Team Unity in and out of Parliament, he means you as well. Mark Brantley. Good night, Patches. Absolutely nothing is happening in St. Kitts and Nevis. Where are the capital projects? Bastille High School, the Smart Hospital, the jail project, East Coast Housing 600 per year. Where is the National Health Scheme and the health card Labour said each citizen will get for free health care at the hospital? Where is the Social Security reform? Where are the new hotels and tourism products? Beg your pardon? Where are the new investments coming from the CBI program? Where are the investors that were waiting for Labour to get into power? Am I the only person blind in this country? Because I can't see one project going on in St. Kitts and Nevis. Worse, as far as I can see, the only thing Labour is doing is mashing up the programs started by Unity and pretending to be so busy working abroad, filling their bank accounts and that of their friends, while people can't buy food to feed their children or find work in the country. Reads this email. Take the emailers before I go back to the lines. Good evening, Patches. I am calling on the leadership of PAM and PLP to stand guard, ready to defend our democracy against this cruel and vindictive, dirty Labour Party government. I don't want anyone to tell me that this is a different Labour. We, the people in this country, want to see the back of Labour, and one strategy to see this is to put egos aside and unite and rally for the people of this country. Dr. Jew is an enemy to the state, and we must get rid of him and his gang of experts because the only thing they are experts in is traveling. They're worse than when Dougie was the Prime Minister running the country from his BlackBerry. Get rid of this dirty government, reads this email. Patches, did you see Dr. Jew and his wife in Taiwan today taking pictures with the gifts they were accepting? They said Timo was begging gifts. God knows what's in those bags, reads this email. Dr. Jew isn't a real Labour. Labour people need to understand that the Labour Party is just a vehicle that will drive Dr. Jew to the international fame he so desperately wants for himself. Now, did he really need to tell us he got a military welcome in Taiwan and was the first head of country to go there since their election? How insignificant is that? I don't even listen to them when they bawl and complain. So Labour people just need to shut up and drive Dr. Jew wherever he tells them he wants to go to promote himself. Reads this other email, and I take the other emailers, my Shedog family. Good night, Patches. Who are the people inside and outside if government was Douglas was referring to in Parliament? Let me read it again. Who are the people inside and outside of government that Douglas was referring to in Parliament recently, was it Dwyer or Dr. Jew? I would like to know, my straight dog family. That's the question in the email. And my straight dog family, it's 10 before the 10 o'clock hour. If you have joined me belatedly, I welcome you. And just to inform you that our thesis tonight, or in our thesis tonight, we dealt with the title, The Short-Sighted Destruction of a Valuable Resource. And we looked at, from our introduction, we examined our CBI program, and I'm sure we all will agree that it is a most valuable resource, my straight dog family, and we ought to guard it. Has it gone beyond that? Is a question we will ask, or we must ask ourselves. Because when we look at what's happening with our program, we can hear someone saying that Philippe Martinez is the best thing that has happened to the program. Remember, Philippe Martinez has filed in the court in St. Kitts and Nevis, the High Court, for an order of mandamus, and wants to, Dr. Jew, to recall or cancel passports. I made the point that there's a tale, or there's a short story that gave rise to the expression, killing the goose that lays the golden eggs. And this refers, or referred to, the short-sighted destruction of a valuable resource, or to an unprofitable action motivated by greed. But in our case, or in this case, this context tonight, it is motivated by pure partisan politics. And our citizenship by investment program is indeed a valuable resource that provides a significant influx, a large amount of capital which can be used and has been used in the past for national development projects, infrastructure, healthcare, education, and other public services. And my straight dog family, we also went back to 2006. We had the revision of St. Kitts and Nevis CBI program under the second Prime Minister, Dr. Douglas, including the exclusive marketing agreement with Henley and Partners, which marked a significant turning point. Well, at 9:53, I'll perhaps take 2 or maybe 3 more calls before we wrap tonight's programming. I'll take this and make this maybe my penultimate call. Call you live.
No, you me. Before you know. That is, I'm saying it again, once more and once and for all. Labor is what mash up the country. Labor is what mash up team unity that had the country going good. Everybody was comfortable with the little 500 that they were getting. And July take it from the people them and increase his big salary. And what he doing with the salary? Leaving the country. Leaving the country. And the 600 houses what they said they're going to build, it got to be the 600 airplane trips that they're going to take every year. And it is time for everybody know. We see what is going on in this country. Whether you're Labour, Pam, Ham, UPP, MPP, nobody, PP, LPP, stand up, march down Church Street. Don't be afraid. This country was not given to Joe. Now nobody. God put on the land here for people to live on them. But you see what happened? Poor people go and vote for people and put them in a position to rule us and get more money and more money while we the paupers suffering with the little pitons. And they don't love nobody. They don't think about who put them in there. All they got in there to do greed and keep down people. And it is time to pitch Jew and the cabinet them out of parliament like common criminals. Pitch them out because that's what they are. They don't care about the country. It's time now, man. We're talking too much. We need action. All over the world, you could hear every night, you could hear this country, people demonstrating, that country protesting and all kind of thing. What happened to St. Kitts? That snake in Nevis again. He should be made to pay back all the money what he get in the federal parliament as an opposition leader because he not doing the work that is assigned to him. And he collecting money for things that he ain't work for, and that is wrong and it is illegal, and he should be made to pay back that. No, this Jew say he was set up. He was set up for how many thousands of passports he signed? Well, if you can sign so many thousands of passports and say you were set up, brother, suppose he only signed one. What he would have said? What he would have said? People, that is enough to show what the man is a big lawyer, and he looking excuse so that his name could come popular and famous. Why he going all the way up there by Dubai and all of them going up there? Why all of them going every minute? They carry what in the long pocket to put it on a special bank? That is good night here. Thank you very much until you come back next week.
Thank you very much as well, my Straight Talk family. That man know that this is the last week in June because the Rastaman put out the video and a lot of people agree with what he's saying. The Prime Minister putting out all kind of things now. He posted today about the MRI building at the JNF hospital and said he will begin to post a number of construction projects that's going on. If you know what's good for him, he better post when he paying the dividend because ain't nobody smiling with him with this email. And as we wind down tonight's programming, my Straight Talk family, as I mentioned, our thesis was titled The Short-Sighted Destruction of a Valuable Resource. I reminded us of the judicial review that Dr. July is facing, which is seeking an order of mandamus to recall or cancel passports that were undersold, yet he is of the view that no refunds will be necessary. And my Straight Talk family, I also made the point that the Chamber of Industry and Commerce, that's the St. Kitts Nevis Chamber, I should say, of Industry and Commerce, its silence is deafening. The country, through all of this, has not heard one word from the Chamber of Industry and Commerce, which is a key private sector body in the Federation. The Chamber advocates, or should advocate, for sustainable economic growth, and it represents various business interests in St. Kitts Nevis. So the question that has derived, or the questions that have derived, are one, have the Wilkins and the Kelsics lost their influence in this august body? Has Cat got the chamber tongue, to use colloquial language? Or are their members now only focused on establishing full control, because they seem to have full control now over a clueless government in St. Kitts and Nevis, led by Dr. July? Or are they complicit? Because one Wilkin, who is the Attorney General and Minister of Justice and Legal Affairs, referred to the CBI project that has raised so many questions and caused this RICO lawsuit. He said it was a scam. The father of the Attorney General and Minister of Justice and Legal Affairs, Garth Lucifer Wilkin, is the owner or part owner of the firm that represents Philippe Martinez, that convicted felon, in the lawsuit seeking an order of mandamus. And he worked in that law firm for decades. The nephew of the advisor to Philippe Martinez, who is Dwyer Astafan, is the lawyer listed in the said lawsuit. Furthermore, any lawsuit accusing the St. Kitts, Nevis, Anguilla National Bank of money laundering and the possible consequences are serious enough, warrants a statement from the Chamber of Industry and Commerce. But not one word has come from this organization. But my straight talk family, someone should remind July about an Abraham Lincoln or Mark Twain quotation, which goes something like this, and I quote, "Better to remain silent and be thought a fool than to speak out and remove all doubt." And the content of this quotation, I believe, it emphasizes the wisdom of staying quiet rather than saying something that might reveal your ignorance. And for that reason, the quotation helps to remind us to always think before speaking, think before you talk, and to value substance over empty noise, and in this case, I would say value substance over partisan politics. So guided by the quotation, I thought that it would have been prudent, and I did share with you, my straight dog family, excerpts or parts of a conversation that I had with the former CEO of the CIU, the Citizenship by Investment Unit, Les Khan. And this is what was revealed in our conversation about the prison project, my straight dog family. This, he said, my straight dog family.
5,500 passports are being sold for $2.4 billion to finance this project. Park Hyatt sold close to 300 shares. Close to 300 shares were allocated to Park Hyatt when Park Hyatt was being constructed. A five-star resort, only 300 shares. And now for a prison, 5,500 shares. And again, you have to ask, who are the persons benefiting from the construction of this project?
Is that a fair question?
From the Citizenship by Investment Unit perspective, I think it needs clarifying, because I think a lot of the numbers are taken out of context.
And he clarified it, my straight dog family.
Project. The second initiative would be privately funded, state-owned. The developer does not own the initiative. The developer starts putting the money up front and starts construction almost immediately. So that initiative would be the second one that we have, and the first project to be approved under that would be the new correctional facility. So based on the information that the clip that I just heard there, the thought is that there was an allocation of 5,500 shares, and that it's equal to 2.2 billion EC dollars. There's an assumption here that 2.2 billion EC dollars is being taken away from the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. There is no $2.2 billion. There's 5,000, 5,500, whatever the number is in terms of the number of shares that have been allocated to assist the developer in recovering their investment.
And my straight dog family, Can also outline that there's a false assumption that the people of St. Kitts Nevis are being robbed of $2 billion. But in fact, there is an allocation of shares to help the developer in recovering the investment. And government gets money, loads of money in the millions from its fees by Straight Dog family.
To quote a number like $2.2 billion is basically misleading in the sense that it's assuming that the developer is selling at $175,000. Now, the difference between the privately funded and the state-owned, the privately funded is at $200,000. The state-owned is at $175,000 for a family of 4. In both initiatives, two things happen, or one thing happens. One is that the developer, regardless of which side of the fence it is, pays government fees. So if we were to truly look at the new correctional facility and we look at how much money the country would actually get from that, it would be hundreds of millions of US dollars, multiply that by 2.6. So, and that would be over a period of 1, 2, 3 years, whatever it takes for the developer to be able to sell those, let's call it unit of investments, because they're not really shares. So $2.2 billion doesn't exist. It's never coming out of the government's coffers. Actually, there's money going into the government coffers.
And some $887 million based on the calculations. If 5,500 units of investment are sold, and it seems as though they have been sold. And as you can glean, my Straight Dog family, 5,500 units at 60,000 US is $330 million or 887 million EC dollars. That's what will be had. And very important as well, my Straight Dog family, is the fact that can outline that Skipper prepares all the proposals.
I think when these proposals go forward to cabinet, and I need to stress this, the unit does not approve projects. I want to be, a lot of people say, well, let's can't approve this, but the unit does not approve projects. The unit supports the recommendation based on its merits, but the initiative must go through Skipper, St. Kitts Investment Promotional Agency. And from their perspective, they are doing an analysis also of the project and are the ones responsible for writing the proposal and submitting it to Cabinet on behalf of the developer. Cabinet then looks at the initiative, and both Skipper and myself may be called to Cabinet to explain why we think that this initiative warrants X number of shares or units of investment. But then Cabinet makes that decision, and then it moves on.
And my Straight Dog family, in conclusion, we've learned from the Prime Minister, July, who seemed to be on a campaign now of fear-mongering. 50,000 passports out there, more than the population. And we asked the question, so what? What are you going to do? Will you stop selling the passports July? But listen carefully. We have to manage the influx of new citizens by Straight Dog family. We can't get away from that. I spoke to next door in St. Martin, the smallest inhabited island divided between or into two countries, my straight dog family. The Dutch side owned by France and the Dutch side owned by the Netherlands, I take that back. And the French side owned by France. And St. Martin has a land area of 34 square miles and a population all told of over 80,000 people. Nevis, my straight dog family, has a population of 13,000. It's bigger than St. Martin. That's 36 square miles, but only a population of 13,000. The point is, July has not told us what he is going to do with the CBI program. He told us that 50,000 or 62,000 citizens may be out there. And we ask, so what? He hasn't told us how many he signed, but he's hinted that he's signed 21,000 or more. And then he tried to tell us that he was set up. Set up by whom, my straight dog family? He saw money coming. He saw $800 million. He saw power in his hands. So he started signing, my straight dog family. But nobody could ever believe he was set up. Never.
Let me address Dr. Drew's comment that his administration was set up by the Harris administration. I do not agree that he had to sign these 20,166 applications. And I hold this opinion whether or not these applications had been approved, and time will prove whether I'm right or wrong on this. Meanwhile, given that PM Drew also said in his address to Parliament that in May 2023, his administration stopped accepting due diligence reports from a certain Chinese company, then maybe there's a chance that a number of those citizens will now be revoked. So let me ask you this. Why do you think all of this information is coming out only now? Why has it taken so long for you, the people of this country, to get this information?
And my straight dog family, his Lebanese supporter, San Negro, like all of us, are concerned that with more passports issued than the actual population, there would be concerns about the demographic balance and the integration or possible integration of these new citizens. Who are they, Dr. July? Are they young? Are they old? Are they black, white, Caucasian? Are they Chinese, Russians, Libyans? Who are they? And will this situation lead to challenges in ensuring that the benefits of our own citizenship here in St. Kitts, who were born in St. Kitts and Nevis, such as our voting rights, do not disproportionately influence the local governance, my straight dog family? Our CBI program has brought significant investment to the country, has brought many financial benefits, my straight dog family. But until the level or this level of economic reliance on the CBI program is reduced by diversifying, my straight dog family, diversifying revenue streams, we cannot create a more resilient economy. We need investments in sectors like tourism, agriculture, and technology, to name a few, if we are going to achieve sustainable growth or to become a sustainable island state, as July likes to say. But criminalizing the CBI program would more than likely result in severe economic and social consequences. We've only had 13 applicants, we understand, for 2024. But my Straight Dog family, the way in which it was implemented, this criminalizing of the CBI program, was drastic, and we can only predict the short-sighted destruction of a valuable resource. That's my story tonight, my Straight Dog family, and I'm not going to change it. So until we connect on Thursday for another edition of Straight Dog, be good to yourselves and to all whom you meet. And remember, my Straight Dog family, whatever your mind conceives, that you will achieve. But first of all, you must believe. So when you wake in the morning, thank God for the morning light. Thank Him for taking you through the night. And my Straight Dog family, keep moving on. Bye-bye. Until we connect on Thursday.
The morning, I thank God for the morning light. Giving thanks and praises for taking me safely through the night. For the rest of food and loving care, and for my mother's breath of life that's got me here. So whatever my mind conceives that I will achieve, you better believe, because I do the things I should, be to my brethren kind and good, the best I could. So I'll keep moving on, I won't stop now. I'll keep moving on till I reach the top somehow. Down on my knees, the Lord I kneel and pray, with my heart and soul, beg Him to take me through each day, my guardian to keep and my guide, over every step I take, He will preside. So whatever my mind conceives that I will achieve, you better believe, because I do the things I should, be to my brethren kind and good, the best I could. So I'll keep moving on, I won't stop now. I'll keep moving on till I reach the top somehow. My way, with strength and courage from above, no man I'll fear, since God protects me with His love. Strong, pure and true,